You are interested in estimating the mean age of the citizen living in your community. In order to do this, you plan on constructing a confidence interval. However, you are not sure how many citizens should be included in the sample. If you want your sample estimate to be within 4 years of the actual mean, with a confidence level of 96%, how many citizens should be included in your sample? Assume that the standard deviation of the age of all citizens in this community is 25 years. Okay, let's find out what is given and what we need to find. So they say that you are constructing a confidence interval. So whenever you are constructing the confidence interval, you know that you have the point estimate in the middle, which is the sample mean in this case. And if you look at this, you may see the sample mean if it is given. If not, you don't have to worry about that. So we need the sample mean in the middle for the confidence interval. Then you need mean plus margin of error on that end, and this end you need the mean minus margin of error, so that the true mean lies here, lies between those two values. But what they say here is the true mean, if you want to estimate to be within the 4 years of actual mean. When I say within 4 years of actual mean, see, within 4 years of actual mean, meaning of that is the true mean lies 4 years above or 4 years below the point estimate. So meaning of that is this 4 years is the margin of error that's given to you. So let's write that down. Here, the margin of error is 4 years. That is given to you. You want the true mean to be within 4 years of actual mean. So that is mean plus 4 years and mean minus 4 years. So that is your margin of error with a confidence level of 96%. So confidence level of 96%, meaning of that is the area in the middle of your normal distribution will be 0.96. So C is equal to 0.96. How many citizens should be included in your sample? So we want the sample size. And they have given the standard deviation of all citizens. When we say all citizens, that is the population standard deviation, is 25 years. So they have given the margin of error. They have given the C value, which is 0.96, C equal to 0.96, 96%. And they have given the population standard deviation to be 25 years. This information is given to you. So after we have this information, as you have seen, we want how many citizens should be included in your sample. Meaning of that is we want sample size. If you go back to your previous slides or your notes, you'll see that the formula to find the sample size n is equal to z sub c or z alpha over 2, which is same thing. So z sub c multiplied to sigma divided by margin of error squared. That is the formula. So if you look at the formula, you have the margin of error. It's here. You have this population standard deviation. It is here. We don't have z sub c. So first, we need to calculate the z sub c using the standard normal distribution. So in this case, we have the 96% confidence interval. So the middle area is 96%. You can label this. You can draw the standard normal distribution. So that area in the middle is 96%, 0.96. This is the 96% area. Now, what we need is we need z sub c, that is the value here, that is your z sub c. So this value here will be negative z sub c, negative z sub c. In order to find this z sub c, I need all the area to the left of that, but we are missing this area on the tail. This is 96%, so the remaining 4% is divided into two tails. So 4 divided by 2 is 2%. So this area is 2%, 0.02. And the equal area is here by symmetry, which is 0.02. So area on the tell is 0.02. So if I want this z sub c, you know that z sub c is equal to, we use the inverse normal in order to find the score. We have to use the inverse normal. So inverse normal, the area from here all the way to the left, the area is 96% here and 2% here, or 0.96 plus 0.02, that is the 98%, or 0.98. Mean is 0, standard deviation is 1 for standard normal distribution. So use this in your calculator or type this in your calculator. You should get z sub c is equal to 2.0537. That is z sub c that we are looking for. So we have z sub c. Let's plug in back here. Let me do it in next step. So n is equal to, your z sub c is 2.0537. We have to multiply that by the standard deviation, which is 25. We have to divide that by the margin of error, which is 4. Close that parenthesis and hit square. And equal to. Now, let's type this in our calculator to see what we'll get. So we'll begin the parenthesis, we'll type everything inside, close the parenthesis and square it. And I get 164.7533. So meaning of that is we are looking for the sample size. Once we have the sample size more than 164, whenever it is more than, it is 164, then you are selecting something. Meaning of that is you are selecting 165 individuals. So you always have to round it up. So this is 165. So the required sample size, how many citizens, see our question was, how many citizens should be included in your sample? So you can easily say that 165 individual should be included in the sample. So let's write that down. So 165 citizen must be included in the sample. Okay, that is the conclusion. We were looking for the n value and we got it here. So 165 citizens must be included in the sample. So that is the end of this example.